Ladies and gentlemen, it is Growth Spark o'clock. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Growth Spark, where we ignite, accelerate, and grow. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Now, I want us to do a small recap before we go to our topic for today, which is the sales triangle. A small recap of what we did last time, or what we learned last time. We were basically talking about sales, and we defined what sales is, and we say that sales is the art of persuading and convincing someone to actually buy from you your product, your service, or even your idea. And we even went ahead and defined the difference between marketing and sales, and I gave some examples right there. Please, if you missed that episode, please, you can go back and watch it, and then we can be on the same page. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. The sales triangle. What do you think the sales triangle is? Write down on the comment section what you think the sales triangle is. I know the most common triangle we've heard about is the love triangle. Anyway, the love triangle. Now we are talking about the sales triangle. Now that we understand what sales is, the sales triangle is basically the process or the part of your sales process that usually plays as your introductory pitch to your customer. The sales triangle, we can also refer to it as the 3P of sales. Don't get me wrong. In our last episode, we were talking about the 5 P's of marketing. Right here now, we are talking about the 3 P's of sales, which form the sales triangle. Just to do some revision and some tuition, a triangle has 3 sides. 3 sides, the 3 P's of sales. P number 1 in sales is the principle. Remember, like I've said, these 3 P's form your introductory pitch when you meet your prospective client. Principle. The principle is basically you, the salesperson, the business owner, the entrepreneur, the sales manager, plus your organization that you represent, or your business that you represent. So in this case, you introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and what solution you're offering. One of the greatest tragedies that we have as salespeople is we run so fast to sell or to try to close instead of offering a solution, offering value to this client. That's why I'm saying in your introduction, you introduce yourself by saying who you are, where you're coming from, and what solution you're offering. In another episode, we shall be talking about some of the mistakes that salespeople do. Then, after the principle, where you say, my name is Odipo Otieno, I am from Growth Spark, and at Growth Spark, we sell training solutions. After we are from principle, we go to the second P, which is product. So you've said you offer certain solutions. So what are these products that actually support these solutions that you offer? If you're working in a microfinance, or rather a financial industry services setup like a bank or microfinance, and let's say you're selling credit, you're selling loans, and you will probably have introduced yourself as the principal by saying that I offer financial solutions. Then now at the second P, which is product, now you define or you describe the products that support that solution. If your financial solutions are inclined towards loan, now you have the loan products that you're offering at the second P. If your financial solution is inclined towards insurance, for example, now your products will be insurance products. The first P is principle, you and your organization, and the solution you offer together with your organization, then the products that now support the solution that you offer. The third P is process. Remember, I told you that sales, just like any other career, is not something that is haphazard. It is something that has a process. At the end of the day, there are several steps that must be followed from the beginning of a sale to the end of a sale. It is not just something that you wake up, you pitch your product and somebody buys. So in process, there are 11 stages that are involved in a sales process. From the time you think about a prospective client with your product at hand to the time that client buys that particular product, service, or idea. The first stage is called prospecting. This is where you actually go out there and look for the client. You decide, I will go to the malls, I will go to where business people are, I'll go to organization X, I'll attend a certain conference, networking gig. We shall be talking more about the various ways of actually prospecting. The second stage is pre-approach. Once you've identified places where you can get your prospects and you've actually gone there and tried to talk to some of them, or identified where they are and even seen what they do from an eyes perspective, now you actually do a pre-approach where you actually go to them and talk to them, get to know what business do they do exactly. In this organization, who are you exactly? Are you in finance? Are you a lawyer? Are you in accounting? Remember, as we continue with these episodes, I'll be telling you the different types of consumers that we have for our products and the different behaviors. For example, there are times you cannot go and sell to lawyers. They are always in court in the morning. There are times you cannot sell to accountants. Accountants are always doing their books at the end of the month. They are very busy. So that's another topic for another day. Now, pre-approach is just to get to understand and to know what the customer does. Sometimes you might not actually go directly to them, but through other people who work there. Maybe you've gone to a mall, you found this electronic shop. Of course, the owner is not the one who is selling. Maybe he has some people who are selling. You might want to know one or two things about them. And we shall also discuss this in length in another session. The third stage is approach. Once you have your data, you have your facts, now you approach this client having everything laid on the table and also knowing how your solution will marry to their need. This is where now you are about now to do what in stage 4 we call qualifying. You want to qualify the client. You've gathered data. You've seen how it marries with the need of the client or the possibility of creating a need to that client. But does this client qualify? Do they qualify? For example, if you're selling loans, I'll be using that example a lot because I've been in the financial services industry space for a long time. You're selling loans and you meet someone and they look like they need the loan, they can actually make use of the loan, it is something they want, but unfortunately their statements do not qualify them. So stage 4 is qualifying your client. Once you've qualified your clients and you've actually identified that they can qualify, you need to do something called a needs analysis. Number 5, needs analysis. They qualify, but do they need your product now? Do they have a need for your solution? This is when now you ask prompting questions, and sometimes if there is no need, you might be forced to create a need for this particular client. In another session, we'll talk about reasons why clients don't buy from you, and you will see where this issue of need comes in. Number 5, I believe, after you have done the needs analysis, now number 5, you pitch for your product, or you do a presentation. Presentation in a nutshell has 3 parts. I usually like to liken the presentation to the 9 o'clock prime time news, where you have the news bulletin, which has also 3 parts. The introductory parts, where they say they actually bring the news in briefs, what to expect. My name is Odipo Otieno, and this is Growth Spark TV. This is what we have lined up for you tonight. Then they bring the news briefs. Then after the news brief, the second part of the news is usually the body, the main news, where now they actually show you the stories they mentioned and even more in the body of the news. Then they also have a final part where they call it feedback session, where they tell you, we had given you this number and we had asked you this question. We told you to SMS your answer to this. Now they read the feedback. A presentation is exactly like that. You have to have an introduction. You've got to have a body of the presentation and also a summary and conclusion of the presentation. Again, this is something that will come up in our next session in detail. Ladies and gentlemen, Growth Spark here. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Stage number 7, after you have pitched and you have presented, handling objections. When you're presenting, when you're telling the customer how your solution will solve their problem, how your product will add value to their lives, they usually ask a lot of questions. And 100% of these questions, especially if you've met the clients for the first time, are usually objections. Remember, this client was not expecting you, even if you created an appointment with them. They had not had you in mind before. So it's like you are intruding into their space. So they'll try as much as possible to object. So how do you handle these objections? Stage number 8, assuming you have handled the objections well and the client is inclined to taking your solution or your product. You have seen what we call in sales buying signals. Stage number 8 is now where you ask for the sale or you close the sale. That is where now you prompt the client probably to sign. If you have an application form, to sign. That is where probably you prompt the client, if you need some documents from them, kindly send me your statements, send me your tax certificate copy, send me your identification documents. You prompt the client to send you these documents so that you are edging closer to closing this sale, asking the sale. Stage number 9. If you ask for the sale at stage number 8 and the customer gives you the sale, you close the sale, then you have number 9 to deliver the promise. You had told this client that this solution will be ready in 24 hours or this product will be ready in 24 hours. Make sure it is delivered within 24 hours. If you had told this client that this solution will be ready in 1 hour, in 1 month, make sure it is delivered within that duration. I always tell salespeople, it is better to underpromise than overdeliver, than to overpromise and underdeliver. Stage number 10. This is now what we call the after sales service. After sales service. The customer has bought your product, you have delivered the promise, and they are now using the product or the service or the solution. Ask them how the service is helping them. Is a product adding value to them or to their business? Then also, this is also a chance for you to build a relationship with this particular client as you do the after sales service. This is also where sometimes you introduce other products that you also sell that are related to the product that you sold. Upselling and cross-selling. Once you're done with stage 10, which is after sales service, it is closely related to stage 11, where you now ask for referrals. This is a point where the client is using the product, the client is happy with the product, the client is satisfied, and therefore it is a good point to ask for a referral. Could you please introduce me to 1 or 2 of your colleagues? Or I know you must be having 2 or 3 friends, 2 or 3 colleagues who would also enjoy using this product that you're using and you don't want them to be left behind. Kindly give me their names so that I can also contact them. asking for referrals. But a quick one. From stage number 8, when you're asking for the sale, what happens in case the client does not buy at that point? Then stage number 10, or stage number 9, you will therefore go and do a follow-up. You'll ask them, okay, I'll give you time to go and think through. One of the common objections that clients usually tell us is, let me go and talk to my partner, let me go and talk to my spouse, let me go to talk to the directors, let me go to talk to my boss. I usually tell people that's a good objection. How to counter that? Yes, in fact, it's a good idea if you talk to your partner. We could actually arrange a meeting for the 3 of us, myself, your partner, and yourself. So we have actually a quick decision-making process around how this solution is going to help you. So sometimes the client needs time to think about it. Don't give the client authority in their hands to go and think. You need to be in charge of the sales conversation. What you need to do, instead of telling the client, okay, I will call you, or when you think about it, call me, or you tell the client, okay, sawa, when can I call you to get your feedback? The client will never call you back. They'll tell you, oh, this is your number, the one you called me with. Okay, I'll call you. They will never call you back. You need to be in charge of the sales conversation. So you'll say something like, all right, I'll give you time to think about it. I'll call you in 2 days. Thank you so much for watching this episode, The Sales Triangle: Principle, Product, and Process. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share.